Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Today I'm at the beautiful links at Terranea with my buddy Danny. Danny, is this, I saw like some listings online. This is like the #2 par 3 course in the country?
Correct.
All par 3s, par 27 obviously, 9 holes, and it's at this resort in Palos Verdes in...
Todd Eckenrod's the designer.
Yeah, is that a famous designer?
Around here he's done quite a few tracks.
Yeah, he did Brentwood and some other really nice redesigns and some original designs too. This is at Terranea Resort, like a real fancy resort here in LA. And just a great opportunity for me to, like I said in my last vlog, I'm working on a deal to maybe play some nicer courses, and this is the first step in doing that. Par 3s, when I play them normally in tournaments and also whenever I go play, I'm like desperately just trying to make a 3. And so I would like to get more 3s on the scorecard, so this would be a good way to do it. Danny used to play professional golf not too long ago. Danny played on the nationwide tour, right? Tell us a little bit about your pro golf experience.
I graduated 2010, played the nationwide tour for 2.5 years, and the lifestyle is pretty grueling. It really requires dedication, hard work, practice, and learned a lot about myself, my golf game, kind of what it takes to succeed, and ultimately made the decision that that lifestyle wasn't for me, but the golf set definitely has transferred over to the business acumen. So
cool.
Happy to provide some tips and anywhere I can help to get more 3s on your scorecard.
Awesome. We're going to talk a lot as we play. Danny's the CEO of this company called 4links. There's a link for it in the description below to learn more about it. We'll talk more about it later.
What'd you get on the laser?
148 from where I'm standing here, so 143 from where you are.
Wow, that pin's really far back.
It's a huge green, I guess. Right, so 148 from this back hole location of this course. So pretty looking, especially when we start playing the later holes and turn around. Danny hit this super solidly. Really stretched out a wedge. Great shot. Looked like you didn't want to re-club. You just wanted to swing what you had in your hand.
I was like,
too lazy to walk back to the bag, yeah. And then I here have 9 iron, and I just had about 5 seconds before I shot that video, I got out of my car and went to the first tee. And made a good swing, but I hit that way out on the toe. You can kind of see my tee there. See where I'm taking the tee out of? First swing of the day. Totally got that on the toe, and it came up well short because of it. So after that, had this. The sand in these bunkers is kind of like they wet it down a little bit. Wasn't prepared for that, and I also just made a really bad bunker swing. Blasted it way over the green to this spot here, and now I'm short-sided, and it's going to roll away from me. Made a really cool pitch, but Danny had hit that to about 10 feet, missed his birdie putt, and tapped in for par. So now we move on to the second hole, which is just about 96 yards, and Danny just actually thinned that one over the green, over the bunker, and out of play. Not just out of play, out of bounds into this kind of gunch area. I don't know what you would call it. So good opportunity for me here, and made a really solid swing, but the club face was definitely shut there. A little rusty. Danny just asked how I got into this, so I figured I'd share it with everybody while I told you, Danny. No, I felt like I wasn't getting any better at golf, and like everybody who watches the channel, I was like watching all these videos, looking for going from tip to tip, looking for things, and then I decided I had a lot of questions for teachers, because it seemed like real scattered, like the things that people were putting out. Sometimes this is a good thing, sometimes this is a bad thing. So I decided I wanted to do an interview show where I interviewed pros, and Monty Scheinblum was my first guest. And started with that, and then it kind of branched into vlogs and other stuff. Danny, I think you're OB.
I think I'm long too.
That's like a real bad area. Okay, so after Danny hit his out of bounds, he dropped the ball here. This is not a super serious round. We're not like following super strict rules, just kind of practicing and playing together. But hit it to about that far. Yeah, Danny hit that just under 5 feet from the hole, and let's see if I can match him here with kind of a similar spot. Totally different swing. That looked like an old man, really. Look, very jabby. And thin that, caught that a little thin, went over the green, and now I'm chipping.
Tell, like, if somebody was to say, give me your 15-second Shark Tank pitch about what 4-length is.
So pretty much we took everything we didn't like about private country clubs and rolled it out into an online multi-course membership.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
I mean, no green fees, no cart fees, almost anytime access, no restrictions on tee times, within a click of a button online.
Where are you guys located right now?
So
like
right
what
now,
courses do you serve?
we have San Diego, OC, a couple courses in LA, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Northern California.
And growing.
Growing, yes.
Yeah, awesome. Always adding to the portfolio. All right, this is the hardest hole on the course, 178. But I haven't done well in the easy holes, so maybe the hard holes will be a little better for me. Now, from a former pro standpoint, Danny, what do you think coming to a place like this will do for your game? Yeah.
I think, one, it really teaches you how to manage your game on the par threes and learn how to score. I mean, you're always, if you do miss the green, you're chipping, you're putting, you're learning how to scramble. You know, one of the biggest things I see in amateur golf and just in general is people get too aggressive on the par threes. Try to hit these hero shots, try to make the two, but ultimately, I mean, for example, the pin's on the right side, you've got about 30 feet of green on the left. You know, you should be taking targets that are very conservative for the most part. I'm taking a line that's probably 15 feet left of this flag.
Okay.
Right, so Danny, if you can't see the flag, it is, if you see there's a telephone pole there to the left of that big mound. And Danny
you don't
just
always do what you want.
Right.
blocked that one to the right.
Okay, here's our, you're all right. Here's our little pro tracer here. He goes right there. It's the ghetto pro tracer.
Yeah. The little finger.
Yep, it worked. So I've got 7. What did you hit?
I hit 7. It looked like it was the right stick.
Danny got a kick out of the Be Better Golf Pro Tracer. Who knows, maybe one day that'll be a legitimate Pro Tracer if we keep it going.
Right.
Hit it solid, really nicely, but again, if you look where my divot is, that was on the toe, and that cost me quite a bit of distance. So then I came up into this area, and it's super soggy. It's actually standing water, but my drop area would have given me a much worse shot. So
not too bad, given the lie.
Yeah, you can see how much mud was on that.
How much money did you win on in your pro golf
It's kind
career?
of a personal question.
Well, we could Google it and know.
Yeah,
but
I think actual prize money on the Nationwide and PGA Tour might have been $80,000, right around there.
Cool.
Maybe a little more on some of the mini tours and stuff like that.
And I saw you're like a reinstated amateur now.
I did. I got my amateur status back, so it's nice to play some fun, competitive golf.
That's a scandal, by the way. I gotta play against people like this. Okay. All right, so Danny, I think a smart choice of putter here.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much, the first thing I do is judge the lie. And from there, you know, kind of see how much green you have to work with. So here, obviously
tight,
the lie is tight, it's sitting down. And this one, all we have to do is really get it on the green. So I think putting is by far the smartest play.
Hoo-wee. Just get on there. Just get on there. Ah, terrible, terrible.
So what you want to do is...
Yeah, right. Well, now he can talk like he knows what he's doing. All right, Catalina Island back there. Very gorgeous view. Good par, Danny.
All right, so remember that shot that Danny hit there with his putter, because that's going to come up later for me and see if I can do as well as he did. Putting for my par to save par, so no.
131 yards. I'll go, Danny, since I'm ready. All right, 131 yards, match play style. Danny is 3 up after 3, and this is only 9 holes. So I'm gonna be playing for fun in a second.
Right, so this is 131 yards, and
So man, what a view!
yeah, what a view is what I'm saying at the moment. So that's the Trump course. Trump National LA is down there, just a couple miles down, and then further on is San Pedro. 131 yards with the 9-iron. You can see where my divot was way out past the ball. So I thinned that one, but it's not too bad. I'm just off the back. Kind of need to figure out what yardage I'm going to be hitting shots. And then Danny hit a good shot.
Solid, a little blocked.
Really solid, but it came up just short. He's going to be in that deep bunker there.
All right, Danny, walk us through this one. Here's the flag.
Okay. Well, what makes the shot difficult, obviously, is the stance. And, you know, here my only concern is making solid contact.
Yeah.
So choking down to the steel of the shaft, finding a good solid base, and then, you know, almost using it just as a putter stroke. The stability is probably the biggest thing in these kind of awkward stance shots.
Okay, you're putting.
Came out a little better than I expected.
All right, after hitting it a little too thin off the tee, I'm just off the back here because it grabbed in this grass and hit a very good chip there. That was fine for what it was. Thumbs up. And here's Danny for birdie. And he, no, that's Danny for par. So Danny missed his par putt, and this is now Danny for bogey. And he's in for bogey as I'm yammering on about something. And here's Brendan for par.
Oh, par. There you go.
And I made it.
So
Alert the media.
All right, here is one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite hole on the course. It's 120 yards. It's playing downhill a little bit. Danny here has 54-degree wedge.
That looked good, Danny. Great divot. Good shot. Okay, what clubs did you have there?
I hit a sand wedge.
All right. How many degrees is that?
That's 54 degrees. I played this shot for about 112 with the downhill. Okay.
Look, and you can see how the divot just stuck to his face there. 120, so this is a 50-degree gap wedge for me. I'm going to play it like Danny said. This is playing this about 112. Awesome swing there. So as it's going, this is nearly going to go in the hole. I don't know if you can see that.
Well, I'm losing the match, but so far I've hit the shot of the day. So I can put that tiny feather in my cap.
Right, a little replay of what I did there. My kind of normal inside move on the way back, but very wide on both sides there, and not as much with the wrist as normal.
All right, so I just hit a great shot. Yeah, and actually had a very good chance of being a hole-in-one, which would be a first on this channel. Yeah, Danny, what I'm working on, if I take what feels like only a left arm parallel to the ground swing, it'll actually be the full swing of most players.
Oh yeah.
If I take what I feel like is a full swing, it's like it gets real disconnected from everything. So now, after seeing probably the worst playing I've done in a little while, tell me where you think I can improve if you're just going to do like a pop instruction session here.
It's finding your swing thought, and from there staying true to it. You know, keeping that in your pre-shot routine.
Now this is a great point that Danny's talking about with the swing thought, because I'm trying to go out on the course with one swing thought, and just to show, there's my ball and Danny's. Two good shots, and he's got a chance to time me. Yeah, because a lot of people who watch the channel are saying like, oh, Brendan, you shouldn't have any thoughts in your head when you play. You should just go out and swing your swing. But I mean, you would know, like guys on the tour and stuff, they're not just completely blank in their minds. They're thinking about certain things, right?
No, for sure. Every person has a swing thought. It really is finding the thought that works for you, and then from there, when you get on the course, it becomes a reaction more than a thought process.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, it's all about the training, so that when you do get on the course, it becomes reactionary.
Right. But it's not like they have a blank mind. Over a certain shot, there's like, okay, I'm going to feel this feeling.
I would imagine when you're hitting your shot in competition, you should have some sort of freedom in your thought process, or really no thought. It's at the ball, your thought process, and then it's just execution.
Okay, let's see some execution here, Danny.
Okay.
Okay, good shot from 120 down the hill with the distraction of this awesome view. Oh, beautiful. When did you switch to that claw grip?
I've been using the claw probably for about 5 years.
Oh, okay. Okay, not a new thing. All right, for me to tie the hole. All right, 2 birdies.
Good birdie.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. Very good. How did you get on tour, Danny? Like, what was your path to playing on the nationwide tour?
So, pretty much played college golf at University of Denver. From there, graduated 2010. Went to Q school that same year.
Yeah.
Got through Q school, finished about 50th.
Oh, cool. So you had to go every single stage through Q school?
Well, yeah. Pre-qualifying, first stage, second stage, and then final stage was at Orange County National in Florida.
Yeah. What did you shoot for the tournament? Do you remember?
I think it was.
So that's 6 rounds of golf, right?
6 rounds of golf. I to be honest, I really don't even remember. Maybe 1 under, even like plus or minus right around there.
Wow.
The score's
hard, huh?
Yeah. The last day especially, it was blowing like 30 miles an hour and pretty chilly for Florida.
What'd you get for the distance? 143?
This one, it'll definitely feed down to the right as well.
Okay, and there's a little backstop too.
Yeah, but that's like 30 feet. I don't know if it'll come all the way back off that.
Yeah. No, I'm just, see, you're thinking to try to use a backstop to try. I'm just thinking if I thin the shit out of it, it'll stop my ball.
So a little insight there to the mindset of a really good golfer and the mindset of just an okay golfer. Good swing there, though.
Another good one.
Nice and solid. A lot less moving parts in these last 2 swings than when I first walked out of the car.
I can't see it.
And the results are getting a lot better because of it. So here goes Danny. That was a 9-iron for me. This is a pitching wedge for Danny.
Really good sound, Danny. What club was that?
Pitching wedge.
So he's only going to be about 6 feet away.
Did he get there?
Yeah, I think it's like 6 feet.
All right. What's your handicap now that you're an amateur at this point?
+3.
+3. So Danny is a +3, and I'm a 3.3. All right, so Danny just said he's a +3. He's won some amateur events in the last year too, with high-level competition, especially here in Southern California. So Danny, if somebody's trying to go from a 3.3, which is what I am, and they want to flip it and be on somewhere on the plus side, what are the real keys? Do you think that it'll separate like the low handicap golfer from the plus golfer?
I think a lot of it is mental mistakes, course management issues, really analyzing your rounds when you finish, and figuring out where you gave away shots. And what I mean by that is, where did you short side yourself when you shouldn't have? Or did you make any mental errors of taking the wrong club? Those are things that you can easily prevent with your thought. I mean, bad swings are going to happen in every round.
Yeah. So you got to be able to separate, okay, that was just a bad swing, erase that one, and it's something that's an actual pattern.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I would recommend any 3 handicap to teach themselves how to go low. And what I mean by that is go play the red tees, go play the silver tees, learn how to shoot a couple under par, get comfortable under par, because really that's what the difference is. Yeah, it's really that it's getting that comfort level of being under par and having low scores. Because I've seen plenty of people, get under par and all of a sudden they start thinking about it too much, and next thing you know, they shoot 1 or 2 over.
Because even if you shoot 4 under from the novice tee, it still feels like 4 under.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, I would always play the red tees and learn how to shoot 5, 6, 7 under par. And then from there, that comfort level just translated to when you went back a set. Qualify for the mid-am. I don't know when it is.
All right, here's my putt for birdie. To try to, we're not really playing a match, but I want to try to get somewhere around Danny's level, not completely embarrass myself. Made a really great accelerating putt at it. Robbed from the lip. And then Danny has this for his birdie after an awesome tee shot. This is less than 6 feet, actually.
Oh, the kid did it. All right, but we're going to keep playing. Okay, so I was just telling Danny, in this journey, the last 14 months of Be Better Golf, the first 8 months of it or so, I felt like I was hitting some better shots, but my scores were the same, basically. And it wasn't really until 2 or 3 months ago that my scores also started coming down.
Yeah, I think improvement definitely does not happen overnight.
Right.
It takes time. You need to, let what you're working on settle in.
Yeah.
And kind of get into your normal game.
Yeah, and I think it'll always take longer than you think.
Of course.
Yeah, like you're always like, and I wasn't thinking that it would be overnight, but I was thinking that it'd be 2-3 months. I didn't really, it was more of an 8-9 month thing. But I've been golfing for 13 years now, so it's gonna be habits that are tough to break. And you started golfing at what age?
Yeah, I started playing when I was 13, so I've been playing for 16 years now.
Okay, so out on the nationwide tour, you were probably one of the oldest learners out there, huh? As far as starting at 13, you think?
Yeah, a lot of the guys, I mean, they had been playing tournaments since they were 6, 7, 8 years old.
Right. This is a tough looking hole.
Yeah.
152 to the flag here, up this hill.
Probably playing.
The wind's coming off the ocean. It's probably playing about that, I think. What club do you have there, Danny?
8 iron.
All right, Danny has 8. Gonna play it for 160.
All right, 152 yards to the flag here, and Danny, he went after that pretty hard. And in my opinion, when he goes really hard at it, he can block it a little bit.
160.
That's what he did.
Fade. Gonna do this.
Yep, that's me practicing my much less wrist set move. Practicing it anyway. You can see the actual results. Much different, but it's a work in progress. And I'm on the green though. Good shot.
All right, before we hit this shot, Danny said he had another tip for me. So go for it, Danny.
Yeah, I think that one of the things I see the most in amateur golf is people get overly emotional with their shots. They hit a bad
take it
shot.
personally.
They hit a bad shot, they start moping. They hit a bad shot, they think it's
Embarrassing.
Yeah. Their round is over. All these different things where they get down on themselves. And really, the most important shot is your next one. They're not moping for 4 holes.
There's Danny's ball. There's the flag. Catalina Island out there, Pacific Ocean, and then Japan somewhere way out there. So the Fukushima accident happened out there about 7,000 miles. So some people were saying that they were worried about nuclear radiation getting to California. I think we're okay.
All right, I'm gonna try to thread this one right inside your ball.
So Danny's going to try to go just on the left side of my ball there, from pretty far away. Wow.
Was that threaded?
Was that threaded? I said.
Go right over my
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been in if he had actually gone over my ball. And then had a good line. My putt for birdie.
When you were playing for a living, how often were you playing golf? Like how many holes of golf a week would you say you would do on a normal week?
Well, I was the only, I had Saturdays and Sundays off most of the time.
Right. But you're still playing golf those days,
yeah,
probably.
I'd probably play 1 practice round for every tournament I played, and then maybe a 9-hole at that same course. So about 27 holes a week, probably outside of the tournament.
Okay. So just to say, if Danny had a full week, then in 1 week of golf, he'd have 72 plus 27 holes of golf. So he'd have a ton of holes of golf. But just to say, like an amateur like myself or a lot of the guys watching, they're playing, if they're really lucky, 18 holes a week and kind of having the same expectations though.
Yeah, that's why I stress really taking a deep dive into your game and figuring out
analytically.
Where the trends are, where your bad habits come from, instead of just emotionally going through it. I played horribly today, or I played great.
Right, because it's so easy to finish a round of golf and say, "Oh, I was terrible today. Whatever. That wasn't me."
It's very rare that someone's gonna say, "I played great today."
Right.
Everyone has some sort of negative complaint.
Yep. All right, 163 to the hole. And you really, the views were pretty good on the other holes. They're ridiculous now. You were looking right into the ocean. All right, 163 though. Golf-wise, Danny, what are you trying to do here, and what club do you have?
So here, there's plenty of room on the right side of this pin. The one kind of bad spot would be is in that left bunker. So just trying to hit it in the center of the green and try to draw it draw it back to the pin.
So we shot it as 163. How far are you playing this?
You know, downhill probably -5 yards, so 155.
Okay.
Is my
Little 8. Okay.
All right, so he's trying to play a little bit of a draw here, but it had the perfect amount of draw, but the start point was a little bit left.
What a kick! That was really bad. Danny had a really solid, good shot. The wind kind of, when you get above this crest here, is pushing this way. And he landed just on the fringe, but it kicked all the way into the bunker. On hole 8, do you think that, was your decision wrong to play a draw on that hole? Or do you just think that it was the miss swing? What do you think?
It was more of a miss swing than anything. I needed to give myself more room to turn that over and know that, you know, there was 30-40 feet of green to work with on the right side of that pin instead of the left bunker.
All right, that's something I want to start doing more, is doing interviews after the round and then cutting them into the round. So let me know if you like that. It's something that we do in my regular job. I work in the TV industry. Safe block. Got to think about that bunker probably.
Wow. And everything moves this way. Okay, so I blocked my shot out to the right, but I'm in actually a really good spot. Kind of probably thinking about that bunker Danny was in.
All right, so trying to learn from a good player here, I have quite a bit of this kind of a very well manicured area to go through, so why chip it when I can putt it? See if I can do any better than Danny did. Actually hit the stick. Rob!
Hit the stick! And you guys were wondering why I was putting. It is a tough shot. I learned from you on that second hole. All right, there it is. And for par. Tell me what you're thinking on this, kind of loudly because of this.
Yeah. So my tip for out of the bunkers was think that there's a plate on your hand. So when you have the plate on the hand, it never falls off. So your hand stays wide open the whole time.
Okay. I was only like a foot from being perfect.
All right, so Danny's putt for a birdie. Check out his claw grip there. He told me that he went to that after he was gripping it way too tight.
Went even more.
Yeah.
Okay. 141 yards here, Danny, on our 9th and final hole here at Terranea. What are you thinking?
I do think that we all need to learn how to identify sucker pins.
Okay.
And this is definitely one of them.
All right,
you know,
so move for a second. All right, here we go. That pin there is only, it looks like 2 steps from the back edge. Yeah.
And from the right, which is where all the trouble is.
All right, so it's 141 there, but we really want to play this 135 to the center about. You have an easy 9?
Just a stock pitching wedge.
Okay. That's a great looking shot. I mean, exactly where you wanted to hit it. I mean, that's like a hole-in-one to your spot, you know? All right, 141 to the stick, 135 is my landing point. I have my 9-iron here. I'm gonna choke up on it an inch, try only to swing to there and keep up my aggressiveness.
All right, so after that shot, I hit it well, and I'm pin high with that kind of controlled 9-iron swing that I need to use more often. And Danny gave me a really awesome full read, kind of the full tour read here. And he wanted me to start it just left of this old hole that was there. And I did that perfectly, but this right there straightened out just a little bit, but left it on the high side. And then Danny, putting for his birdie, actually left it on the low side a little bit. So somewhere in between is a good putter.
Good round though, Danny. Played well for not playing a lot. Okay guys, we're gonna put the stick in and let the people behind us play. But the video's not over. We're done our round. We're gonna do this kind of new feature I'm thinking about where we do just a little bit of recap, kind of like Danny's saying. Kind of break down what we did and talk a little bit, so stay tuned. Okay guys, that's it. The round of golf is over. Danny won after, I think, 6 holes. But then after, you could kind of see at this course, I just rolled out of the car and walked to the first tee. You could kind of see, like, it takes me a little while to get my swing together. Analytically, Danny, you're talking about people need to assess their weaknesses. Just for yourself, doing a little self-diagnosis, first time you've played in a couple weeks. What did you see in your game that you liked that you want to try to work on?
Yeah, I mean, I made some good swings. I think for me, a couple of the course management decisions of short-siding myself or misclubbing, playing to the fat side of the green, just that seems to be my common mistake as of late.
So Danny's company, Forelinks, FORELENX.com, is something really cool that if you're anywhere, you should check it out. But certainly if you're in Southern California, Arizona, or Vegas area, check it out. It's a great way to save money at golf and get to play awesome courses. I'm getting a membership, and I'm going to be playing because this is the closest course to my house. And actually, I think not only is this the closest course, I think this is actually going to be the course that's going to help me actually bring my scores lower than even playing like a Monarch Beach or a Madera.
100%. I mean, one, you're hitting quality iron shots, you're getting work around the greens, and you're learning how to score.
All right, so I'll be out here alone next time, Danny. What do you recommend that I work on?
I recommend
think about
finding your go-to swing.
Okay.
You know, that swing that you know,
kind of like 9th hole. I had
9th hole. Finding that swing that you know is in your wheelhouse, and when you're nervous. I mean, any time to kind of make sure that you can ride the ship and get back on track.
Okay, and then swing thought-wise, we had an interesting conversation about this because there's been a lot of debate on our channel and in golf in general of what golfers should be thinking of. Now, a lot of people have been telling me that they want this blank mind, but it's more of a in-between area, you think, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think
Between
it's more of
thoughts,
a trigger.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is I have my thought where for me, I try to rotate my forearms open.
Right.
And that's all I think about.
Yeah.
And from there, the rest of the swing just becomes a reaction.
Right, so he has the swing thought in his mind over the ball, and he actually still has it in his mind to this point, but then he's just reacting to it. All right, what's the next tournament you're playing as far as competitive golf?
Ooh.
Just like
a
club championship, or?
No, I'm going to try to qualify for the USGA 4-ball with a friend of mine.
Okay, yeah. That was won by guys in their 30s last year. So
there's hope. Next year I'll be in my 30s.
Of course, it was Nathan Smith. It's not really just guys. It was pretty good amateurs that have played the Masters about 5 times. So that's cool. And then US Mid-Am is coming in the fall. That you'll do.
Yeah, try to hit a couple qualifiers here and there. Right now, my main focus is definitely Forelinks. So
yeah.
I don't mind spending time.
Not
in the
these
office.
links, but Forelinks.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So thanks for watching. Check out Forelinks in the link of this description below. Definitely subscribe to this channel, and see you later.